And Chris Bauman.
Hey! It's a full house, and we are live tonight on a Friday night.
If you aren't noticing, that's our live audience that we have. Oh my God. I don't even know what to expect right now.
I feel like it's a Seinfeld show.
It does. It feels hot. But in all seriousness, thank you all for coming and being here tonight, because we had no idea if 2 people might come or 150, and this is the perfect.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, look who's here.
Oh my gosh.
Did I miss something?
No, we got it covered. All right. Well, we're going to start by introducing ourselves so that everybody knows really who we have here and what for. So I am Jill, and I'm one of the hosts, obviously, of Listen Teacher Chatter.
And I'm Robin, and I'm one of the hosts.
I'm Krista, and I much prefer to be behind the scenes, but I'm a social media person.
Just fabulous.
I'm Chris Bauman, and I have the marketing director. So I was part of the first 2-part episode, and I managed to weasel my way into the program. So
Hey,
I just like to say we like to give ourselves labels around here.
exactly,
so,
And listen, they're worth every bit of money we pay them.
that's right. They've doubled my pay twice.
yes.
Yes.
Definitely.
This is awesome. I'm funny all the time.
I know. You are fighting such power in those signs right now, actually.
I'm actually going to introduce into our senior leadership meetings.
He has
Sorry.
too much power.
No,
There's too much power.
Take the signs
much.
away.
They are going to have to walk over and take them away. Okay, some reminders. We are on every podcast platform out there. We are on Facebook. We are on Instagram. We are on TikTok. And we want to make sure that you are liking and commenting and rating us.
5 or walk away.
And Geisha's actually in the audience.
That's for you, Geisha.
She feels a little ashamed in this moment. She's covering her face up.
Yes.
If it helps, that's all I think when I hear your name now.
She Oh, but in all seriousness, yes, check us out on all those different places, and there you go.
All right, so we're going to start like we always do, and we're going to do the highs and lows, and we're going to talk about our week or high and lows,
Yeah.
okay? And I always like Jill to start because that always makes
It
me
just
happy.
feels
right.
right.
Yes.
It feels right.
I feel like I'm a giver.
You're something, Robin, that's for sure. Take the signs. All right, so for my high this week, and actually just thinking about this event, I was excited to get around with everybody and to have everybody experience a little bit of what we do every week with it. And I don't know, I just love being around people, and these are my people here. So they don't even need a sign, you know. And I even have students that are out there. Colton, get a little shout out.
He was the first one here today,
Yeah.
which makes it even more special.
Yes.
So I don't even think that I have really a low. I've just been pretty pumped all week thinking about this. So
Well, I wish. Well, mine, I'm very excited about today. Now I
Yes.
kind of feel bad that wasn't my high because this
It's
is
fine.
awesome.
you should have started it.
But my high, I love a snow day. And listen, my husband watches the weather and he likes to tell me ahead of time, and I'm like, do not give me hope if there's none. And so I start about a week early praying for the snow day.
Yeah.
And then the next day I get 2 or 3 in my building to start praying for the snow day. And then we keep building. So my
There's
high.
power in the numbers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I was so excited about the snow day, and we found out the night before, which makes my heart so happy. So it was the best. Now my low is that we didn't have the second snow day. I was
Yeah.
really, I mean, it was so much snow that I thought, and my daughter Maddie's like, do you think we'll be off? I was like, we've been driving these roads. There's nothing on the roads. but I'm with Maddie. I kept waking up thinking, did they call? Did they call? Even though I knew we were going to be this. That was my low, but
Yeah.
it's all right.
We had one.
One. And I'm hoping for next Tuesday.
Although, you know what? Even though that's your low, that you had to wake up and you didn't get a second snow day the second day, that's my high. Because I woke up on Thursday and I thought it was Monday morning. And I was like, I was like, let's listen to the Listen Teacher Chatter podcast. And then it wasn't there and I was depressed. But then I realized it was Thursday and I only had 2 days. So
That is
2 days works
doable.
for me. That's
Yeah.
a high.
Doable.
That is-
Yeah.
Sorry, I was slow on that one.
Do you have a low? No low?
Oh no, I don't have any lows.
Oh.
No,
This is so
no
awkward.
I'm not
lows.
a low person.
No, we're about positivity around here.
I wanted that second snow day.
The second snow days. Yeah, I did find out that snow days are like Lay's potato chips. You can't just have one.
No.
You got-
Give
is
a
that-
little
that's,
bit.
that's what I've heard.
Yes.
So yeah,
No
It's
more
true.
than
keep it
4
going.
though.
No more
Yeah.
people. Thank you. Yeah. So, do I get to say a hi?
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, I have an amazing high. I'm talking not just amazing for the week. This is like amazing for a career, right? I'm being serious with this. This is
They're getting a
I
big
know.
announcement.
it really it kind of is. So first, I'm going to start by recognizing some very important people who made this event happen. It was
Yeah.
amazing. And that's Shelley Chesick, Vicki Wallace, Stephanie Glossop, Amy Schenker, thank you, and Melody Vance and Lindsay Hamilton. It is the third grade team at South Elementary, and they have kids who they did a wax museum. And so the kids went through and they said what they wanted to be in life, and they made this whole presentation. They had the outfits, everything they're going to do. So if you're going to be a doctor, you got a lab coat, whatever it is, an attorney, you got a satchel, whatever it's going to be, right? And they practiced on Monday at South Elementary. And then Dr. Chesick loaded up all the kiddos on buses, brought them over here to the Innovation Center. They lined them up in all the hallways. They brought out all the lab tables. The
Aw.
custodians did an amazing job getting stuff set up. The kids came up, and it's like if you go to a conference, they all set up their stuff around their table, and they were all set, and they were so excited, and they got to see the Innovation Center. And then the kids, the high school kids, the bells rang. So then they were moving. So then the high school kids started talking to them. And when you went up and you hit the button, they started talking through their speech. It was amazing. The high school kids were so, yes, let's applaud.
Yeah.
Right? The high school kid, they were so excited to talk to all the kids. And then the parents came in and they got to experience. It was, I kid you not, one of the most amazing things I've experienced in education since I've been here.
That's awesome.
It was amazing. It to talk about careers, and then now all of a sudden, so you have these third graders who they went and said, this is something that I want to be in my life. But now they see, many of them saw a direct connection to when they get to high school. Amazing. It was
Yeah,
amazing. So
that's
thank you guys for doing that.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna. Are we gonna
You're
get to
handing it
you,
Krista.
Oh, it's me.
Krista?
Yes.
It's time for some
All fun
prizes.
things. Okay, so social media is my game, right? So we had you guess, and I'd like to say first off that you're all low ballers.
Yeah, my brother said like
Because
130.
your expectations of what we were able to succeed with in social media this year was like, but
They were like,
We're a lot more
like,
important.
We don't want to make her
they
feel
did. They shot there the
bad.
whole time. So we'll start with countries. So our highest guess was 14 countries, which was Pete.
Yeah.
What's your name?
JD.
Thank you, JD. Okay, JD with a guess of 14, but we are in an astonishing 24 countries. Our downloads in general, the highest guess we got was Lexi McNew with 3,000. But we are at 8,117. I maybe should have gone to cities next. Our highest amount of cities was Stephanie Phillips with 121, but we are in 449 cities. Yes. And social media followers, we went with Lisa Weeks, who chose 1,500, but we actually have 1,367.
So if you're one of those people afterwards, we have some things up here to choose from, some of our little knick-knackety things, or some even rib crib appetizers.
And you also can get pictures taken with you guys too. So
That's the real.
That's the
Hey,
real.
everybody can do that, so you're all winners.
Winners,
You're all
yes.
winners.
You're all winners.
Yes.
All right. So what we're gonna do is, first of all, you need to realize that there are some questions you guys are going to come up and ask our lovely assistant. You're going to come up to him and you're
I'm
going to
like
ask
Vanna.
your question, and then we're going to answer it. Okay?
Yep.
The best we can. We'll either make up the answers
just
or
make it up.
whatever.
Yeah.
So we're going to start with question number 1. So who
Who's
is that?
question 1?
Oh.
You gotta come up here so they can hear you.
Alrighty, what was your funniest episode you guys think you had?
Oh. You know what's, well, you know what? I'm going to start. I think I laughed the hardest when we did our playlist
Yeah.
of the songs, but we found out that you cannot play music or you're going to be sued and go to prison.
We don't want to do that.
So
Straight to prison.
straight to prison.
Wouldn't be good in
That's how I
prison.
read the thing.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
so I panicked because I'm a rule follower. So then we just decided we would sing every song that we did. And in case you're wondering, that is not one of our strength finders. Singing.
It's not a strength anywhere. Nowhere is that a strength at all. In fact, like when I'm at church, Sean gives me looks like, no, stop.
Hey, it says make a joyful noise.
That's right.
Yes.
Jesus is like, I love it all, you know?
Yeah.
So,
But our family does not.
our family does not.
No.
Oh,
So that was the one that made me laugh because it was so fun. And actually, some of the songs we were singing to wasn't even the right beat. And
Yeah.
I don't even think.
and I had friends that definitely were like, do you know the rest of the words to
That-
those songs?
Because
And
they
I'm
were
like,
naughty songs that we didn't realize were
I-
naughty.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was one of those pieces.
Yeah.
for me.
You
Actually,
Get Knocked Down is not an appropriate song. In case you're wondering. I thought it was.
It's not.
It's not so good. Don't go home and listen to that one.
No, honestly, that would have been mine too.
Really?
That episode. Well,
Yeah.
mostly for all those reasons, and because Robin really wanted us to have that episode, and I
We've got
was like,
question two.
she'd
We've
bring it
got
up.
question
So when we get together, we talk about like what are we wanting to do here, and she kept saying like, I want to do this teacher playlist, and I'm like, no.
She kept pushing me
I
off.
actually ever said no. I just gave another idea, and we would do that
Yeah.
instead, and then
I kept going.
it did, and finally I gave in.
And
And
it was amazing.
I
It was amazing.
I feel good about them whenever I listen to them later and I'm still laughing. And that's when, even if I listen to it today, and if you haven't listened to it, you can still find it. It's out there. Just have to scroll down a little bit. But
What episode is it, Chris?
23.
Everything's 23. Okay, you have a different one?
I'll save mine.
Okay.
I'll save mine. It'll
Okay.
come up.
Okay.
It'll come up.
It will come up.
Okay, so we're gonna go on to question 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, question 2.
You've had so many great guests on your show, your podcast. Which was your favorite experience?
This is like
Oh.
this is like picking your
There you
favorite child, right?
Yeah.
This one
They
I
were
can
all
start with.
special.
Okay, I got this one.
Okay.
Okay.
Special.
So at the very beginning, Casey Crocker.
Oh,
She was
Yeah.
my favorite guest. And can you guess why?
she's edgy.
She
Is
she's
it?
edgy, and I love it. And edgy is my favorite word.
Yeah.
So she's edgy, but she's also a science teacher, and I just want to be her when I grow up. I loved scrolling through the pictures that she sent me to post. But then she gave the funny story.
Some of them we couldn't.
Some of them.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking
Okay,
about.
Okay.
So she sent us some awesome pictures of some projects that were
Science
made.
experiments.
Science
I think I
experiments.
saw some pictures like that this week
Yeah, they were
through some of our own science teachers.
anatomical in
Yeah.
looks.
Good times.
Fun stuff. So behind the scenes, I had a lot
Yeah.
of fun with that one.
I don't know that I can necessarily pick a favorite because each guest that we have, what's been amazing to me is for people that know our podcast too, like we feel like it's a calling that like God's put on our hearts with it. And each guest that we have, it's been different experiences, but it's things that I feel like needed to happen for them or for us. And it's just like, it's in God's timing, honestly, with it. And so, some of my favorite things is things that I thought they were actually, it wasn't going to work out well. Eli Parker, for instance.
Oh yeah.
He came in and he pretty much read his answers off of
Had
his
'em
laptop.
typed up.
He had them typed up. And our guests come in at different levels. Like some of them come in and they have prepared and they've got it typed out. Some are like, whatever. And he had his typed up. And so he was like reading off the screen as he was answering. And I thought, this is not going to seem right. And then I listened to the episode. I'm like, no one can tell.
It was
Yeah.
supernatural.
Yeah.
When you had told me that too, and
Yeah.
then I listened. and I was like, no, that was awesome.
Right. And Sean, he was on over the summer, my husband, and I also thought that he was one of the first recordings I did, and he was like this, like his hair, like the whole time. It was like, I'm like, this is not going to sound good. And then people were like, I loved when Sean was on the podcast. I'm like, I had to force him, but yeah.
Yeah.
it was great,
I had
so,
to make it happen.
yeah.
And I think mine, every time I finished one, I'm like, oh my goodness, I love that one. And I
Yeah.
think just getting to know different people
Yes.
and just kind of all of them, I loved them all. I really did. I couldn't pick a favorite.
Oh, you got a favorite? over
Do I get? I have a favorite. Actually, so the favorite. So it does sound a little self-serving. I get it, but the reason why that episode is my favorite was because we recorded it in Robin's room and then it messed up, right? The whole thing, and we did great.
Yes.
It was great. I
Well,
don't
part of the
know that
problem-
we did very well, but we had fun, right? So then we had to redo it, and I said, let's do it down at the OIC. So we were able to come down here and really experience the facility for the first time doing that. So for me, that's why that one was a little extra special, because we kind of went down in the video room and had the Ozark Tiger thing behind it,
Looked
and
really
put a
fancy.
listen teacher chatter thing there, put up the cards, and anyway, it was just a lot of fun and to get to use the space. So it was really more the space than it was the guest.
Well,
So
and
that was my favorite.
And you'll know that we're both activators on our strength finder. So we saw the battery going low, but Chris and I are like, no, we're good. Just keep going.
pushing,
and Jill's
keep
like,
pushing.
maybe we should save. I was like, no, we can do it. Just come on, we'll do it together.
didn't-
Yeah, it didn't work.
Yeah, it
so
didn't
good.
work.
You should have listened to us.
I know better now.
You know better now.
All right.
All right,
next one.
question
Okay.
three. Question three. Come on up.
Come on up.
Uh-oh.
Aside from music law,
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
aside from music law, what have you learned through this whole process?
Oh.
There's a lot of things actually I've learned. One of the things is the amount of support you get from people that are seem like they're on the outside of things, but then they bring in, and honestly, it is kind of those strengths. Like I think we each figure out that we all have our different pieces, but then I have friends that bring things in. What about this idea, or what about this, and just the overall support, and it's just been really amazing. And again, kind of what I was touching base with earlier, as far as saying like it being a God thing. Seeing him pull through on different pieces of it has been really, really awesome. So, I mean, that's kind of, I don't know if that's really what I learned. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's where I feel, that's where my mind went with it.
Yeah. I think what I probably learned from it is that when, I think we always talk about how we start, like when God opens a door,
Yeah.
and like we talk about this, the thing, like we started off by making a joke about it of like, hey, we should start a podcast and that, and we're like, oh, and then all of a sudden we had a podcast, and then we have these followers. But like, I think just learning that when God opens that door,
Yeah.
what a blessing it is for us, and what a joy we've had to be able to encourage people and doing that. And I think just learning lots of new. Hey, I've learned a lot of technology stuff too. So
Hey,
that
she is a great editor now.
the first half of the year, she was the only one that edited, and now I felt maybe I should do something around there. So now I do part of the time. It's not quite as fun when she did it all the time, but so I've came a long ways.
I think even about just the rewarding part of when God calls you to something, listening and doing it. So like they had decided this, which was like the most bizarre thing ever. I remember laughing at Dr. Kelly's house after we had like a Christmas movie or something
Yeah.
playing. And they were like, let's do it. And I was like, ha ha, that'll be funny. And then it happened. And as soon as it started happening, I was like, I need in on that. That needs to be something that I do. And just how rewarding it's been since, honestly.
Gotcha.
All right. So, my question actually was, what was your greatest joy? But since you just answered that in a roundabout way,
Yeah.
switch it up. Where do you see your podcast in the next 5 years?
Oh.
Jeez, now it became a job interview.
I know.
Oh.
I don't have an ooh sign.
But the crowd's going to have to improv.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I don't know. I mean, I think for us, we're kind of the jump in and do it kind of people with things, but I think something that's been opened up to us, and actually it'll come back with a challenge later, is trying to think about where God wants to lead us with it, and expanding where he puts on our hearts really with it. So in 5 years, I love the fact that people think that we're like trying to become rich and famous.
I'm
with
okay to
this.
be rich and famous.
And I'm like, so That's not what's happening here. Just in case anybody's wondering, that is not what's happening.
You guys are going to be massive influencers. I
Yes.
can see it
Like
coming
that.
now. You're going to be huge, big time. All of us are going to be like, we remember you when.
Somebody asked me last year when we started the podcast. They're like, I don't know if I want to listen because I'm afraid you'll stop teaching. And I'm like, that's
Don't worry
me.
about it.
I know.
Just
And
listen.
she, yeah, you jumped in on that. You were there and you were like, I know what their numbers are. We're
You're
okay.
fine.
We're okay.
We're okay.
Okay, so.
We
That
have
would have been the
zero
last time.
endorsements.
Sorry.
Yeah. But if somebody wants to, it's
Yes.
fine. I
If you have
mean,
extra money sitting around, we're willing to take it
Yeah.
from you.
we'll mention you every episode.
Yes, we're
Every
not.
episode. All right. Next question.
Okay. What is the most stressful thing that has happened this season?
Oh,
We touched on this already.
listen, his episode.
Well, first of all, just having him on the episode is a little stressful in general.
What?
Yeah.
Uh,
Ooh. No. That actually was super stressful.
Yeah.
Because we get him on there, it's an hour long, and we're like, okay, we'll make this 2 episodes, and then it goes away.
Yes.
It went away. And then
And she called me on that Saturday and she's like, Robin, it's not here. I was like, I'm sure it's here. She's like, it's not here.
Yeah, and it wasn't.
Yes.
And then we recorded it again, and the next time we did it, it actually part of the audio just went out, and we
At
couldn't-
14 minutes.
Yes, 14 minutes in, and it was gone. And I'm going, you've got to be kidding me! I cannot call him again and try to like beg forgiveness. Hey, can we do this? And we figured out a way, but
We actually took my phone. I took my phone, pushed it on thing, and recorded on my phone to do it on the podcast.
because only her computer would it come up on. I mean, Justin, where were you at, man?
Really?
Just-
Oh, you know what? He's our new tech guy. Introduce Curtis Jensen.
There it is!
Yay!
Yay!
Good job.
I will
Look at
gladly
that. Now
finish
you-
that role. We're going on my skills right now.
It was stressful, but
It was.
it
That was the
worked
most
out,
stressful.
and it was fun. It was a fun episode once it all got
And I think we've had
Yeah,
a
I
few
thought it was
technology stress.
It wasn't bad. It was
Yeah.
good. Honestly, I think everything worked out great.
Yeah.
I mean, and Bobbin got like 2 hours with Jill and Robin, so
Exactly.
really,
So who
who's
doesn't?
lucky in this situation?
I was more just impressed that it sounded so good the second time. Like it wasn't new anymore.
Yeah.
I have
know
a-
that first
Listen, I have
time,
an
like, you get all
iPhone
the funny
13.
stuff.
I have an iPhone 13.
Oh.
There you go. That's because of all that money.
Yeah, she's
She's-
bragging. Yeah, it's fine, Robin. It's fine. All right.
It was good. I do think, though, I mean, from a technology standpoint, you guys really have done some pretty amazing things with what you're working with.
Can't wait for that studio to
Thanks.
get done. and then
Yeah, that's
everything
right.
else,
We're
so.
needing those podcast rooms going, aren't we?
I told Jill we'll just stick this in our bag on the way home because that $5.99 I bought at Christian Freight.
Yeah,
microphone.
that's right. We're also gonna take that thing down now. So
That's right. If
Also,
it's
that's
hanging at the
like-
ceiling,
Our
it's
high
the bat.
secret. You're giving all our plans
sorry,
away.
if it's
right.
on, it's not on.
All right. So we ready for the next question?
Yes.
All right.
All
We're
right.
going to keep moving.
What is your favorite episode?
Okay, so we had
23.
always comes back to me. I really liked in November when we did the thank you notes.
That was funny. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
that was
because
awesome.
I really do like Jimmy Fallon, and I love the idea of like, and then I got to tweak them and make them into like little TikToks, and it was just really fun for me. I felt like I was living the dream in the moment, kind of like right now. Actually, it feels really good.
Yeah.
It feels really good,
We can do this next Friday night too.
so make it a tradition.
Nobody shows up next week.
That's right. My family will
They're
be
like,
here.
"We're one and done."
You have a favorite?
We're going to have to up the snacks.
That's right. My man, I just love them all. Honestly, I really do. Like I have to go back to the playlist because that really is one of my favorite things. But I also the most embarrassing moments. That was
Oh,
one of my
yes.
the stories that people sent in. Like I could
Oh.
literally.
I
Anytime.
think that the one with the story with the teacher in the classroom with the describing we showed it at the
Oh, Laura.
Oh,
Yes.
Step
Yes.
in the poo.
yes
Amy,
that was I don't know that was that was hilarious.
That's one of my favorite things about having guests. Actually, is the teacher stories that they bring in because you never know
It
what they're going to
was-
say. And
Oh my gosh,
some
that
good
was
ones.
So
hilarious.
those are-
That's something that you should just add on to the tail end of this.
Is all of them.
Yes.
all the stories.
all the funny anyway that was funny.
They were my favorite. What's your favorite?
And then what when at the Oscars, because she went on for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when we had the Oscars and they showed it there, Amelia, who was doing the editing for that, was like, it's too long. We can't do it. So she like cut out the sound. So people thought it messed up, but the teacher was who was it? Thank you. Anyway, so she was very animated. And I mean, it was the funniest thing I have ever
Hey,
seen.
the
It
full
was
story
hilarious.
is on TikTok if you really want to see the full
The
thing on
full
that.
story, you
the
can
full
get it. But
story
it
is there.
was so funny.
Yeah.
So
Ah,
funny.
I
All right,
see
we
a
ready?
familiar
Next
face.
question. Got to introduce yourself. Our first guest here tonight.
That's right.
I am Colton.
Yeah, you are.
My question is have you ever thought about doing an episode with a student?
Look at him. That's he. Hey, you need to know he is walking away, staring me down.
That's right.
Right over here, Mrs. Weedle.
Student number one.
Student number one.
I
Well-
don't know the commitment tonight. First one here. I'm all for it.
Well,
I
you know-
love you.
Well, you know what? We actually were. You have to know. I know you guys think we're so professional and so organized,
Does anybody think
but
that?
no one does.
Not
But
on
literally, half the time when it's just Jill and I, we sit down. We're like, "What are we talking about today?" And she's like, "What about this? What about that? No." So we're not really great planners. So we thought we would on our snow day.
Who would have
Who
thought?
would have known? On our snow day, we met together.
Yeah.
And we're like, we're gonna plan out for the year.
Yes.
It was actually really hard because it's not what we do. But we did mention maybe having a student episode. So
I
you know
love
what?
that.
Maybe you read
There
our
we go.
minds. So that is on our list. So
It
good
is.
All
question.
right. Next up. She wanted to be a guest.
Yes.
I can carry the chair over. Do
Yeah.
you want me to carry a chair over?
Just bring it
I
over.
think after being called, yeah, we got to.
What's your question? Go ahead.
Wow. Just like that.
I was not trying to be a guest,
Mhm.
but I did put on lipstick in case I was on.
Oh my god.
All right, there you go.
What's your question?
She gets to be a guest.
I really just had a question.
Yeah, what's the question?
I feel like Bauman's like pranking me or something.
No, well, wasn't she calling? She was called out in an episode, if I remember.
Yeah, on the Oscars.
It was. I think it was episode 37. I'd have to go back and look.
I just said that if I feel like I have no other option, I have the inclination to just
She's
put
oppositional
something-
defiant.
Maybe. But my actual question is, have you ever been able to contact some of your previous teachers and ask them maybe to come?
Oh.
Ooh, I got to get an ooh sign.
Oh.
Hey, wait! You got to wait till you're done answering the question.
Yes. See?
We carried a chair in and everything.
Yes.
He's the boss of the boss. No, we have not ever talked about actually having
That's a
our
great
former
idea.
teachers on.
Well, I'm old, so I'm I'm the oldest. Well, maybe not the oldest, but maybe but the oldest. Yeah.
Wow.
But that's a great question.
That is something we should. You want me to write it down on the idea?
Yes.
we need to.
Former teachers. I am worried about my former teachers.
Well, and I
coming
honestly
on.
think you're the only option.
I would be the only option. So Skyline Teachers, who wants to come on?
That's a great idea.
That's right.
You can go now.
Oh wait, I got to get. the
I'll
chair.
tell you the dirt of what they may or may not say.
All right.
But good idea. We need to do whenever we had the snow day and we're trying to come up with some
That's
ideas.
right.
Maybe that'll be in February when we were having a rough time coming up with them.
Side
Yes.
note, these ladies, one of the things I have learned in this season is how many people, the sheer amount of people that Robin and Jill know. I always knew Jill was connected, and I wheedled my way. Wheedled? I wheedled my way almost into the family. I'm still working on it.
Hey, where's
Where's
that
that?
question?
Yeah.
We'll save it for the toast.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
All right.
Anyways, I
who's the
am
next
literally
question?
wheedling
Who's
my
up
way
next?
into the Weedle family, actually the Biden family.
Anyone?
Or,
All of it.
They'll love it.
anyways, all of that. But they know everybody. And so the
And-
fact that we would be pulling on Jill's teachers is no surprise to me.
Okay.
Okay. So my question is there something that you feel like you guys have learned from the people that have come on your podcast?
Ooh, good
Like
question.
this guy right here. Did you learn anything? No, not just him specifically.
Better be careful with that one. Oh my gosh. Learn from?
We did learn that Kent Sappington was the princess of East Elementary.
Yes, if anybody doesn't know that, the Princess of East Elementary.
We told that story.
I think one of the cool things about us having guests is you guys, like, what we put out there is what we record. But before we even start recording, we're having great conversations with people, and afterwards we are as well. And so I think for me, it's more of I kind of something I mentioned earlier where I just feel like it's the right time. Like Robin and I, we're kind of the jump in people and do it. And I think that though sometimes that may be a bad thing.
No.
I sometimes it makes it interesting for us, but I think also it's one of those things where you talk about God using us and our strengths or the things that we're willing to do. I think sometimes for us jumping in and doing it and going like, hey, I'm just going to reach out to this person
Anyone
and
else?
see
Question?
if they're interested. It's amazing how he uses it because a lot of times our conversations that we are not recording are really heartfelt and just the right thing. And so I think just through those experiences, I've learned a lot about myself. I've learned a lot about just everything. I don't know.
And I think from our guests is just, I think it just reminds me that sometimes we hear a lot of negativity about teachers and stuff, but it doesn't matter where they are in different areas, different age groups, whatever. Teachers love what they do and they love their job. And so I think that's what I get away when you walk away. You're like, man, they make a difference in people's lives. And so I think just that it just makes you excited about teaching when you have a new guest and you hear their ideas, and it just kind of makes you, it
like
makes you think,
refreshed,
yeah,
too. Like,
yeah.
It just feels good because, like you said, I think we do hear so much negativity and realizing these great things that people are doing outside of our little bubble. Like, it's everywhere, and there's just so many people committed to bettering kids and their futures. And so, I mean, it maybe is cliche,
No.
but
And making new friends. I mean, I
Yeah.
think that's so nice. Is like I feel like
every
there's
time one leaves and Robin didn't know them before, when they leave, Robin's like, and now we're best friends. And like, and Robin means it.
You
Like,
mean
we
it.
are
now,
best friends
sometimes their
now.
eyes go,
But then she embraces them.
but I
like
take that
Robin
like
does.
she's so they were so excited
Yeah.
that they didn't realize that we'd already made to another level.
Yeah,
So
that's all it takes.
that's all it takes.
Sometimes that elevates a little quick, but that's okay.
Boundaries are an issue for me. It's
That
all
was
right.
great. All right, so we ready
Yes.
for the last question?
Is there any more?
Any more question? We got the last.
This is it.
I gotta have an ooh sign.
Yes.
Next year.
That's right.
Next
Next
year.
next time. Okay. Last
All right,
question.
the
Here we
last
go.
question. What changes or things should be expected in season 2?
Oh. You want to start with our social media things,
Yeah,
Rita?
I can start. So we have a lot of things actually that we're planning on changing and just making better as we go into season 2. And I'll let Jill talk about our word that we've thought about for the year. But one of the big things that we're planning on doing is spotlighting people. We just want to make sure we're spreading positivity. So the people that are helping us, the people that we see doing amazing things, we want to make sure that we're sharing that more on our social media. We're also going to be more consistent with the challenges and scripture that we post each week. We just think that the light, and we've had a lot of conversations about this, each individually and as a group, just right now there's kind of this negative light on teaching and on our profession. And we want to be, we are a voice for the positive, a voice for the good things that are happening in education. And we want to continue that. And so making our presence, thanks guys, just making our presence known on social media as we are positive teachers and we are going to encourage people to be positive, even in a climate where that may not be popular right now.
Well, and as our listeners and stuff too, like one of our challenges too is just help us get the word out there. And it's not because we're trying to seek fame or fortune. I promise you, it really isn't that. It really is that I just think that there is so much of that negativity out there, and like we get to be a blessing to kids that are in a room every year, and we get to impact kids. And I think because of all those negative things that people are hearing, they're forgetting that. And so for us, we really want to make sure that that's what we're presenting. And we realize there are hard things, but we can do hard things, you know? And so that's kind of where we are. We're going to be making sure that we're trying to branch out a little bit, not going crazy or anything, though we are worldwide.
Yes.
So, but
countries.
yeah, we're really going to focus on reaching out to other school districts, even thinking about organizations that deal with teachers or churches or anything like that that kind of needs that voice, I guess. And we're also going to be making sure that we're going to start getting in some guests that are maybe not teachers but impact education. And so we're looking at people involved in MSTA, higher ups with some of those things. We're looking at some politicians even coming on, some board members. There's all kinds of things that we're reaching out and trying to get just not just word out, like you said, about our podcast, but just about what we do. And I think our voice is that positivity, and so we want to just spread that. So.
All right, so that's going to kind of lead us into our challenge.
One more
just
thing,
kidding.
though,
We gotta get
because it's going to come out on Tuesdays.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and it will come out on Tuesdays now.
So
Yeah.
Life altering.
Yeah. Well, we think Mondays maybe we're a little tired. Tuesdays might be a good day for us to get into the mode, a little pick me up after that Monday morning. But so yeah, that's another.
Yeah,
another
that's a
part of
big
that.
thing.
That is a
big
So you're moving to prime time.
We're moving
prime
to prime.
time.
We're
It's
moving
that
on up.
prime time. Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to talk about our challenge, and we are going to pick. We know a lot of people pick a word for the year for their self, and okay, we're sorry, that was a cricket. Oh, there's a cricket. Yes, there's a cricket. Mother of pearl, the cricket is here. Listen, that was supposed to be me doing the cricket, not someone else. That was anyway. Back to the challenge. Anyway,
Do-
listen,
we
I
need-
want to talk about.
Do I need to go
Jesus.
get the custodian?
All right, focus. Oh, that's okay. Anyway, our challenge. Okay. All right. So I was talking about. I'm gonna take the cricket out of my head. Listen, no wonder I'm not in a mental hospital is because of all you people. Anyway, mother of pearl, I've lost control. Anyway, my word this month.
Just wait till that rat starts flying over.
Seriously, it's not funny. That's not funny.
It is funny because I'm holding the sign.
All right. So, our word of the month, our year. I picked fervent, which was a really big word. And I told Jill when I picked this word, I felt like it sounded too intelligent for myself. So I tried to find a synonym that sounded not that important, but I could not find. And mine is displaying a passion with intensity. And I want that in my prayer life. I want that as a mom for my kids. I want that as a wife. I want that as a teacher. And so that was the word that kept coming to me. And so when we're trying to think of a challenge, I said, I want us to pick a challenge for our podcast. What is it for this month? And so, or for the year, month, year, whatever. Season 2. And so we picked the word focus. And when I was thinking about scripture that kind of made me think about focus, I found Philippians 4:8. Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, if there's anything worthy of praise, think about these things. And I thought that is really what we want in season 2. Like, we want to make sure we want to focus on what we bring to you guys. We want to focus about our challenges that we pick when we do our scripture and our challenge to make us a better person. The people we reach out to, our guests, like, we want to make sure we're doing everything that is right. So we picked the word focus. And so we have a lovely sign that Jill made. And so if you have a word that you know already, we want you to sign that and put your name to it. And if you haven't, I ask you to just take some time and pray the next few weeks and think about what is your word for the year to focus on so that you can be your very best and that you can be who God wants you to be. So that is our challenge for this year and for this week. So
yep, our sign is up there, and you already see that we've got our names on there with some of our words that we're going to be our personal words as well. So I love that, Robin. All right. Well, I have another little exciting thing. We're going to be doing a giveaway in February for our listeners, where you'll be able to get like a Listen Teacher goodie bag is what we're going to call it, because there's going to be all kinds of little things. Listen Teacher. Okay. So what we're going to be doing is we have these flyers that have our information on it, and we want you guys. They'll be on social media. We already have it printed off, right?
Yes.
Yes, we have some printed off here, so the people that are already here, you can grab them on your way out. But we want you to post these flyers in your workplace, whether that's school or something else, if your church or an organization, wherever you think like people will see and we can get the word out. Because, and with this drawing, we want you to take a picture of yourself with it. Hello, tag us, and we'll keep up with what people are doing with that. If you have multiple places, put in multiple places, take multiple pictures.
Yeah,
Can't be in your house. It
entries.
can't be in your house.
It
though.
cannot be in your house. That
On
would-
your fridge.
Personal
Yeah.
bulletin boards.
Yeah,
do not
I mean,
count.
personal bulletin.
Not that
boards.
we'll know.
No,
Yeah,
we
that's
don't know.
true. That's true. But just post them up. So, like I said, that one of our things is focus, but we also need you guys to help us out with just spreading word, with getting that positivity out, and that's a way that we can do that. So, we're gonna put the challenge out on social media and some other places as well. But yeah, we just appreciate our listeners.
And
really,
listen,
really.
we could not do it without you guys.
No.
Honestly, like we all, Jill and I talk about all the time. Like when we see each week the people that listen to us and are dedicated, Wascally Wabbit, dedicated is a big
Yeah.
word, kind of like fervent. That's why I
Yeah.
didn't want to pick it.
Yes.
But anyway,
You did it.
but honestly, your dedication of listening to us and supporting us, and honestly, when you come to us and say, "Hey, I needed that this week," you don't know what it means to us. Like I consider it a blessing every
Yeah.
day that we get to do this, and we thank you, and we thank you guys for coming on a Friday night.
Yeah.
We know there was ball games, we know there was lots of things, but we appreciate you doing that for us.
And really, that is the deal. Whenever
Yeah.
we get messages from people and they say, whether it's in the hallway or somebody private message us or put it up a comment, every time, like, it's my heart swells and I'm like, we're doing the right thing. And sometimes I know as teachers we need that whenever our students or a parent reaches out to us and it's just like, hey, thank you for doing this for my kid. How we feel in that moment, or even in my classroom, I was walking around today with my kids working on stuff, and I could, when you feel your heart just like getting bigger, it really feels that way. Like that's the stuff that we also get from you guys, and we really do appreciate it. So thank you very much.
All right, this is Listen.
Teacher Chatter.
This is Robin.
And Jill.
And Krista.
And Chris.
And we hope you have an amazing week.